Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we are going to take a look at the top 10 bombshells of the 1970s, and where they are today. Bombshell is a term used to describe a strikingly sexy woman. And while its exact history is unknown, it is believed to have originated with the 1933 Jean Harlow movie, The Blonde Bombshell. So let's take a trip back down memory lane, to the bombshelliest decade of them all, the 1970s. First up on our list is Lynda Carter. One of the most iconic stars of the late 1970s was Lynda Carter as Wonder Woman. Dressed in those knee-high red boots, skimpy leotard, golden crown, with her piercing blue eyes, and almost Amazonian build. Carter, the 1972 Miss World USA winner, was an obvious choice to play America's most prominent female superhero. By crushing supervillains, saving the world, and looking fantastic doing it every week, Carter, 71, lassoed the hearts and minds of men all over America. After Wonder Woman ended in 1979, Carter went on to star in over a dozen TV movies. She paired up with Lonnie Anderson in the series Partners in Crime in 1984 and went on to Hawkeye from 1994 to 1995. She made a number of guest appearances and performed live as a singer.
Just let me be. I'm alright. Hey, yeah. Nobody worry about me.
After it seemed things had slowed down for her, she had a resurgence again in the early 2000s with roles in the cult classic films Super Troopers, along with ample video game voiceover work. However, she hasn't strayed too far from superheroes.
We're going to war.
Ah, gee, that'd be a quick one, eh? No. After negotiations, they've agreed to turn the land over. Vermont's about to get a little more headroom.
Next up is Stevie Nicks. Even though Stevie Nicks might not be the first person you think of when considering 70s bombshells, she definitely deserves to be on this list. Nicks joined Fleetwood Mac in 1975 and quickly contributed to their rise to the top of the charts with songs like Rhiannon and Dreams. Her self-described gypsy bohemian style, doe-like eyes, and bewitching good looks, combined with her songwriting prowess and vocal talents, were central components in her success, fronting one of the best-selling rock bands of all time.
No, but we've been on the road for a long time, and we're going to need a little bit of rest before we start a new album, I think.
Right.
So
We're planning on
Prior to
starting
that,
next
there was
March.
10 months of
It's
recording
March.
onless.
In fact, Nicks, 74, was so seductive that the band nearly disbanded when she had an affair with drummer Mick Fleetwood while dating guitarist Lindsey Buckingham. Nicks later enjoyed a successful solo career and, in 2019, she became the first woman to be twice inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What a bombshell, beautiful and gifted.
I think it's a very good album.
Yeah.
I think that it has a lot of class. It took a lot of time, and there was a lot of emotional input into it, and we didn't spare any time or money to do exactly what we wanted to do with it.
Our third spot goes to Farrah Fawcett. No list of 70s bombshells could ever be complete without the incomparable Farrah Fawcett. A model and commercial actor in Los Angeles in the early 1970s. Fawcett's life was changed when she did a photo shoot for Pro Arts in a red one-piece swimsuit. The poster, with Fawcett's impeccable blonde feathered hair and an almost impossibly huge smile, was an instant smash, selling over 12 million copies worldwide. This success led to Fawcett receiving her most memorable role as Jill Monroe in TV's Charlie's Angels.
Diamonds.
See that trash barrel over there? There are instructions where you can find the horse.
How do I know they're for real?
Come on, where do you think I'm gonna fence a stolen horse?
Come on.
Despite the fact that she left the show after just one season, her influence on popular culture was undeniable, as the Farrah flip hairdo remained in vogue for the following 10 years. Fawcett kept acting and didn't lose her stunning beauty. She even made an appearance in Playboy in 1997 at the age of 50. Sadly, Fawcett passed away from cancer in 2009 at the age of 62. But her bombshell legacy will always be remembered, with her iconic red swimsuit even being enshrined in the Smithsonian in 2011.
Well, that racy red suit is about to be even more famous as part of the pop culture collection at the Smithsonian's Museum of American History.
Farrah's a part of American history. Big part.
Actor Ryan O'Neal, Fawcett's longtime love, donated the swimsuit and other items in a ceremony on Wednesday.
Fourth on the list is Christie Brinkley. Our next bombshell is one of the most famous supermodels of all time. With wavy, sun-drenched blonde hair, riveting blue eyes, and an infectious smile, Brinkley was the epitome of a Southern California surfer girl. Looking born to wear a swimsuit certainly worked out for her, as in the late 70s, she was on the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition, an unprecedented 3 times in a row.
Whatever you're doing in there, it's magic.
Sports Illustrated played such a huge part in my career, because I had done a couple things for women's magazines, but after Sports Illustrated, it was like a whole other story.
Brinkley, 69, also dabbled in acting, appearing as the iconic girl in the red Ferrari in National Lampoon's Vacation. She also appeared in music videos made by her one-time love interest, Billy Joel. Later, she had a role as the inexplicably attractive wife of the goofy office worker, Jerry, on the TV show Parks and Recreation. Brinkley's enchanting good looks, still, have never faded. And she once again regraced the cover of Sports Illustrated Swimsuit in 2017 at the age of 63, and she continues to stun till this day. This woman seriously does not age. Next bombshell on the list is Pam Grier. Actually, bombshell hardly does her justice. Pam Grier might be better compared to the atom bomb because of how powerfully she would burst onto the screen. Grier played the main roles of the hits Coffee and Foxy Brown in the mid-70s.
It was easy for him because he really didn't believe it was coming. But it ain't gonna be easy for you because you better believe it's coming.
Wait. My name's Coffin. LaBelle Coffin is my little sister. LaBelle? Shooting smack at 11, and you got her on it, you dirty shame! Please!
In these films, she would kick butts, bust perps, take names, and look ravishing the entire time. Roger Ebert described her as having an incredibly beautiful face and astonishing form. When you're able to blow one of the country's most respected film critics out of the water, you know your status as a bombshell is secure. After her run of 70s hits, Grier, now 73, continued to act. Who could forget her in Quentin Tarantino's masterpiece, Jackie Brown, in 1997, acting alongside other screen legends, Robert De Niro and Samuel L. Jackson. She also completed 6 seasons of the Showtime show, The L Word. And, most recently, you could check Pam out in the TV series, Bless This Mess, where she shows off her comedic chops.
Being a cop is nothing like TV. I mean, it took me a lifetime to perfect my instincts. But now I always get my man. Ain't that right, Rudy?
No, I'm not your man. I mean, I'm not a criminal man. There's no need to track me down. Gotta run.
Next up is the unforgettable Raquel Welch. When you get cast in a movie as a character named Lust Incarnate, as Raquel Welch was in the 1967 film Bedazzled, you know you're well on your way to achieving bombshell status.
Help me with my buttons. I seem to be off thumbs this morning. I find clothes so constricted. We must allow our pores to breathe.
She burst onto the scene a year earlier in the movie titled 1 Million Years BC, where she was sporting the now infamous fur bikini. Welch had people all over the world swooning over her. While most beauties of the day were cookie-cutter blondes, the Hispanic Welch, born Jo Raquel Tejada, stood out from the crowd. After becoming a prehistoric sex symbol, Welch continued to act, appearing in Kansas City Bomber and the star-studded 1973 film, Three Musketeers. In 1982, however, Welch was fired from the film, Cannery Row, and replaced with a woman 15 years her junior. After successfully suing the studio for age discrimination and winning $10 million, Welch's movie career was effectively over, as she was shunned by Hollywood. This forced Welch to shift to the small screen, where she would appear in various movies and TV series for the next several decades, culminating in the short-lived show, Date My Dad, in 2017. But the world won't soon forget the lady that Playboy magazine named the most desirable woman of the 1970s.
We know one thing about you little sissy Orcons, and that is you can't stand any intensive physical pleasure. We'll have you moaning for mercy.
Oh, no.
Up next we have Debbie Harry. Debbie Harry, the new wave goddess, may be a little different from the other women on our list, with her bleach blonde hair, smoky eyes, and punk style. But that doesn't lessen how stunning she is one bit. Harry was the charismatic lead singer for the popular band, Blondie, whose hits include Heart of Glass and Call Me. The band was actually named after a catcall Harry would receive while walking the streets of New York. And her signature look was so arresting that Andy Warhol used her as the subject for one of his famous pop art portraits.
Last couple of years.
Well, the rumors are sort of spreading like wild. Every time we do something that's a little different, we stop touring. I did a solo project. The group, the Blondie, Best of Blondie album came out. And all of those things seem to spark off a bunch of rumors saying that Blondie was broken up or didn't exist anymore.
Outside of the band, Harry also did a lot of acting, appearing in 48 films between the 1976 movie, Unmade Beds, and 2018's Bad Reputation, and many guest star appearances on television. Blondie was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2006, and continues to be active to this day. So, thankfully it's still possible to see blonde bombshell Debbie Harry, 77, strut her stuff across the stage. Coming in hot at our number 8 spot is Jaclyn Smith. Starring alongside Farrah Fawcett in the TV smash, Charlie's Angels, Smith came into our living rooms every week to solve crimes while looking stunning. However, she almost wasn't cast as Angel Kelly Garrett. The show's producers wanted the Angels to be one blonde, one brunette, and one redhead. But after Smith auditioned, her almost regal beauty and elegant good looks carried her through. And all of America fell in love with her.
Unfortunately, by the time they'd figured that out, it was too late for the Kraft sisters to get entered in the race. We found Sylvie and Sally where Castor and Tolan left them, scared, but no harm done.
Smith was the only character to stay for the whole run of Charlie's Angels, and, after the show, went on to star in about 40 big and small screen movies. She also made a ton of guest star appearances. However, her most famous, post-Angel role is probably best known as that of a designer. Smith, 77, was one of the first celebrities to have her own fashion line, and not just endorse the products of someone else. In fact, her Jaclyn Smith line is still super popular to this day, and can be found in Kmart's all across the country. Smith continues to act, even appearing as her original character in the 2019 reboot of Charlie's Angels.
Well, I tried to outrun my past, but it caught up with me yesterday. And I put my friends in danger.
You're in more danger now without you. Your past is what makes you who you are, Dylan. Don't forget that Charlie chose you for a reason.
Next up is the incredible Bo Derek. The term one-hit wonder gets used all the time in music, but less so in other arts. Yet that might be how you would describe the film career of our next bombshell, Bo Derek. After several movie flops, Derek burst onto the scene in 1979 in the romantic comedy 10, in which she played a man's ideal form of a woman. And with her long blonde braids, blue eyes, and a face as if carved from marble, you can see why. A dream sequence, in which she ran down the beach in a skimpy, flesh-colored bathing suit, cemented her status as a sex symbol.
Esta noche paso contigo.
What does that mean?
Tonight I spend with you.
And she also appeared in Playboy 5 times over the next several years. However, Derrick's movie career would never hit these heights again, and she would go on to be nominated for 6 Golden Raspberries for her poor acting in films like Bolero, Ghosts Can't Do It, and of course the sexy, but nefarious stepmom in Tommy Boy. Derrick's string of movie flops culminated when she starred in the made-for-TV movie, The Last Sharknado, It's About Time. Despite this, Bo Derrick, now 66, will forever be fixed in our minds as one of the most beautiful women of the 1970s.
So you'll continue to make pictures as long as they continue to see it and just put up with the Hollywood?
Right, as long as they don't pay attention, as long as they are entertained, I assume. Although I don't see myself growing old and I don't like films that much. But I'm in a position, my God, to come from nothing, you know, a little girl on the beach, to all of a sudden, I was offered after 10, $5 million to do 2 pictures. That's 20.
Last on our list, but certainly no less of a bombshell, is Catherine Bach. Who could ever forget the beautiful bombshell, Catherine Bach? In the mid-70s, Bach starred as Daisy Duke on the TV hit Dukes of Hazzard. The show's producers initially wanted her character to be a Dolly Parton lookalike. But as soon as Bach walked into her audition, with her silky brunette locks and legs that went on for miles, she was hired on the spot.
Okay, you can look now.
Well, it's awful pretty, Daisy, but I don't think it's hardly befitting the memory of the General Jackson.
Bach's look for the show was so iconic that super short denim cutoffs are still referred to as Daisy Dukes to this day. And those legs that the Dukes showed off, they were insured throughout the run of the show for a whopping $1 million. After Dukes of Hazzard ended, Bach, 68, continued to act in small roles in Hollywood. She eventually joined the cast of The Young and the Restless in 2012, where she played Anita Lawson until 2019.
Tell me what's the top of your playlist right now?
At the top of my playlist?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't tell you.
Oh no, those are the best ones.
I'm listening to all the obvious people. I love Justin Timberlake because he reminds me of, and who's that other kid? Bruno Mars. I like Bruno Mars, but I love the Michael Bublé.
Irresistibly beautiful and outrageously talented, these ladies had it all. Whether we watched them on the screen, listened to their music, or had their posters hanging on our walls, these stunners were some of the biggest stars and sexiest bombshells of the 1970s. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this content and would like to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you all again next time.